When I got my diagnosis, it wasn't the doctor that broke it to me. I was actually making my hair. I told my sister to go and pick my results. So when she bought it, because she didn't understand what was in the results, I had to use my phone and browse invasive ductal carcinoma. And the only person that was there was my disabled nephew. He was there, he saw me cry, and he told me, he just scribbled it down, there is no sickness God cannot heal. He even promised to take me outside the country. He was just, I think he was just 10 or 11. I looked at his leg. I was like, see this boy, you're not stable, but you're encouraging me as an adult. And whenever I remember him, I make sure that I fight this journey because I want him to fulfill that promise for me. So that is one person. Before any other person, he's the first person that encouraged me to stay strong.
Hello and welcome to Spotlight On. This is S24. My name is Amira Osman Adam, and today we'll be spotlighting on Mercy Sopuruchi Agu, a cancer survivor and an advocate whose lived experience has transformed her into a voice for many. Welcome to S24, Mercy.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure our audience will love to know who you are and what you do. I have told them your name. It will be good to hear from you.
Okay, good day, listeners. Good day, our fans. My name is Mercy Sopuruchi Agu, and I'm a young breast cancer survivor. I am the patient navigator and fundraising associate with Project Spring Blue. Thank you.
You're welcome. How have experience been like from when you were diagnosed?
The truth is, when you get the diagnosis of cancer, you tend to be confused at first. You tend to be in denial, and then gradually you accept the reality. And the next thing is speak up and take action. What next am I supposed to do? So when I got that diagnosis, I didn't know how to start, but I needed to speak up because they said when you speak up, people will tend to listen and they will support. And that was how I got my first treatment. I had to speak up, and the community I reached out to helped me to raise funds, and I did my chemotherapy. Thank you.
Well, before you speak up, have you ever thought this is something you will do to go out to the public to seek maybe sympathy or help? I know life happens and sometimes you just you can't tell yourself, I have to do this or I won't do this. There are situations where warranty you must seek for help outside. How was it? How was it like the feeling of you reaching out to people outside?
Some people believe it's not supposed to be young people's disease. So at first I was like, how do I come out to talk about this? But at the other side, I was like, I want to stay alive. I had to go to, browse about cancer, and I found out that with some steps you can be able to win the battle. So what I needed to do was to reach out to the people that I know that can help me, and that was what I did. And here I am today advocating so that others can also go for screening and speak up when there's a need for it.
You know, they say experience is the best teacher. And you are the definition of experience is the best teacher because, like, whatever it is you're talking about right here and right now is something that you've experienced firsthand, not that someone is telling you. Can you tell us what were the changes you noticed between when you were not diagnosed and when you were?
Okay, yeah. I started noticing some changes, like I started having weight loss. I started noticing some acne, and I reached out to the health practitioner that I usually go to for my checkups. And she was like, it's hormonal imbalance. Gradually, the acne will go. Maybe because you're not eating well, that's why you're losing weight. But I knew there was something that was different in my body. Then gradually, I noticed a lump. The lump was in the other breast, it was not in the other breast. So I was wondering, do I have pimple on my breast? Do pimple happen to people on their breast? That's what I actually thought, because he had a red dimple. Then I went to the hospital and they told me it's fibroadenoma, it's nothing to worry about. But I was worried because I didn't know what to do. But because I was not a health, like a doctor, so I was like, okay, since they said it's nothing to worry about, I went to the first one, I went to the second one. I was like, stop looking for what is not looking for you. So I just kept mute. I was just monitoring my body. Then the next thing, after 1 year, the lump is now bigger. discovered my breast. Now I knew that this no longer is not something to worry about. And lo and behold, I went. After they did biopsy, I was told it was stage 4 breast cancer. I I literally couldn't speak. I went mute. I felt my world turn upside down because I just finished my NYSC in March and I'm diagnosed of cancer in September. I was like, I've not even started anything. So it was so hard. I even wanted to blame the healthcare practitioners because I came to you people because I'm a novice to this field. I believe you should know for me to come to you. I came to you for you to help me. And you now made me to have a stage 4 breast cancer because they would have referred me if you do not know, because I believe you cannot know everything. That is why we have people that are higher than you. But what would I do? I can't keep blaming them. I had to look for how to save my life. So I went out and I spoke up.
Advocacy is one thing. Being a survivor is something different. How do you relate with the people you talk to on daily basis or when you go to the field? Like, how do you tell them things that won't make them scared? You know, people are scared of something whenever you say it's cancer. People's mind go far. They don't wait to listen to all the necessary information. How do you get to convince them to listen to you?
Okay, like in the hospital, sometimes when I go, I will hear people that are being diagnosed newly. So there will be all those ranting, I refuse, in denial. I will just have to call them aside. Look at me, you're diagnosed of stage 1 or stage 2. If I tell you that I'm living with stage 4 breast cancer for 2 years now, would you believe me? When I say that, they will pause. The next thing is, how did you go about it?
Sure.
And then I will now sit you down. These are things you would do because even before I started my treatment, I had to, browse about it.
Yeah, you
I
have to
read
learn.
about chemotherapy. I knew that my body was going to change. So before I even started the treatment, I've barbed my hair. I was already ready to face my fears because I was like, if I want to go through this, I have to stay positive. So this is what we try to imbibe in this cancer patients and survivors. Because even as some survivors, some are still scared about the journey and they have no steps. Speaking of, some are still scared because that stigma is still there. So even when we go to the community, we try to let them understand that cancer is not a death sentence. When it is detected early and there is prompt treatment, you can survive cancer. And that is one of the things we do at Project Spring Blue.
When it comes to treatment, looking at the Nigerian health system, how can you say your experiences? Like, forget the non-early detection that cost you to get to stage 4, the expenses, the medication, chemotherapy. How is it like?
Okay, I had to leave the East. I'm from Abia State.
Okay.
When I made inquiries, I found out that there is this government initiative. They call it Cancer Health Fund. It's only in the 6 geopolitical zones: Abuja, Ibadan, Gombe, Benin, Enugu, and Zaria. So I now checked. The place I came for my second opinion was in Abuja. So after that, I now made more inquiries and I found out that, okay, I can continue my treatment here because in Abia State, I don't have that cancer health fund. So I decided to settle down in Abuja. Why? Because I can't afford the treatment. But with this cancer health fund supporting me, I can be able to, that financial toxicity will kind of be a little bit lesser for me. Because right now, my drugs in a month is about 1.2 million. I'm just an average young woman that is working. My salary cannot, no matter what I'm doing, can't cover my drugs. So without that support, I don't know if I can be able to, access that care. And that is one of the reasons we are urging the government to put some of these cancer drugs in the NHIS so that people can be able to, because one thing is telling you to start your treatment, and another thing is you having the money. You don't tell me to start my treatment when you've not given me a means of how I can get funds, because cancer treatment is expensive. And that's the more reason why we call on the communities to do fundraising for cancer survivors and patients. Because when you tell me, just like me, like example, when people raise funds for me, we're like, okay, that is step 1. That means I can do this, because if doctor tell me do this, I can do this because there is the money to pay. So our health system, some of them lack some, how will I say, some facilities. Because imagine me, some people have to travel from far distance, like 12 kilometers, to come and access a facility. Yeah. So imagine now that we are having insecurity in Nigeria. Like one patient I was navigating, I told her, okay, the drugs you're taking is around 1 million. If you come to Abuja, if you get a referral and come to Abuja, you can get it free of charge. She was like, I can't come to Abuja. I told her, what about Zaria? She was like, Zaria, you know that there is insecurity. Instead of me to travel all the way from Anambra to Zaria or Abuja, I'd rather stay and die with cancer.
But were you able to convince her in some?
Oh no, she refused and sought for crowdfunding, going online to cry. Because imagine that long distance. What if something happens on the way? Now the life you're trying to save is lost. So we need the government to help us. That's one of the topics we are talking about. Is the topic we are talking about in our symposium. Conflict, cancer, and insecurity. We want to see a way where we can help to ensure that even those people in those vulnerable areas can still access health care without having to go through this. We want to look for a way where we can talk about sustainable solutions to help these people because they are vulnerable. Most of them are indigent. Some people sell off their properties and in the end they don't make it because of the pressure they get from home. Some people, their spouses leave them.
And I think that's what I want to ask. Like, is there anything like stigmatization when people
Of course.
found out this is what is wrong with you and you don't even have the capacity to take care of yourself?
It happens almost every time. We lost, I think, 2 people the other day. Their husbands left them. One of them, her husband looked her in the eyes and said, they have cancer and soon you will die. Him putting another woman in her face. Even if you had the faith to fight that battle, you will give up because your loved ones you were looking up to have deserted you. Cancer patients go through a lot. That's why we are urging everyone to allow us to speak. We should be given the voice to speak because we are the lived experience experts. We know what we are facing. That's why most people tend to speak to their fellow survivors than talking to a random human being because you're not understanding my pain. You don't know where I'm coming from. So there's a lot to be talked about. And that's why when we are talking about World Cancer Day, we are happy about it because it brings together everybody, the whole community, organizations, survivors, patients. You know, when a patient sees a survivor, we have one that is 25 years. When you're encouraging that person knows that there is hope.
Yeah, like you feel I'm not alone
I'm
in
not
this
alone.
battle. There are people.
That
Me.
was how I got into Project Pink Blue. Last year, I attended the work as just like a normal survivor and patient. And when I came, I saw what they were doing there. Everyone was, raising awareness. I saw how they raise funds for patients, the advocacy, the research they do. I was like, oh, I would really love to be with them. And that was how I applied as the patient navigator and fundraising associate. One, because I've seen fundraising save my life. Two, patient navigation, when you talk to a fellow patient and even talk to people that are not cancer, they tend to understand and adjust with their lifestyles for people that are not cancer patients.
You know, there are ailments that will tell you you can't eat this, you can't drink this. Is there anything of sort when it comes to cancer patients?
Of course, when I was diagnosed, I had to cut off some things. I let go of sugar, I let go of carbonated drinks. I focused more on vegetables, fruits, because one thing chemotherapy does is to shut down your whole system, both the good and the bad. That is why most cancer patients go bad.
Okay.
It kills everything that makes your body. So it's what you eat that keeps you alive. It's what you eat that helps you to build your immune system to be able to stand against those drugs.
Mercy, how do you reach out to the people at the grassroots that don't even know where to start from?
Now we have a support group in Lagos. We have another one in different parts of the state. And even if we are not there physically, we have organizations in those states that we reach out to, or they reach out to us when they need to do maybe awareness, or they need some materials, like a patient education materials they need, so they can be able to, translate to the language that the people hear. Like currently now, we have a project at Project Pink Blue that's for colorectal cancer. We are getting education materials. We want to adapt it in our Nigerian setting so we can be able to, disseminate the education materials to all the healthcare in Nigeria so they can be able to use it and to suit us. So these are things we do. We try to reach out to those people, the people that are not here in Abuja, because they believe people in Abuja are privileged cancer survivors, then the other people in the other states are not privileged. So we try our best to make sure we bridge that gap. We try and, send the messages we need to them. The last project we had, Blood in My Stew, about colorectal cancer. We took it to the rural areas of Kabusa. We played the documentary for them. They saw what it is and why you should not take blood in my stew as a minor case. When you see blood in your stew, you should know that there is a need for you to go to the health system to check yourself.
All right, Mercy, let's end on the lighter note. Let's just do a quick game so that we can ease off the tension that has boiled up in the room. Hope or strength? Which defines you more?
Hope.
One word that describes your journey.
Resilience.
Are you a morning person or a night thinker?
Night thinker.
And what is one thing that gives you peace the most?
Music.
Wow. And what is one habit you've developed since your recovery?
Positivity. I make sure nothing takes away my joy. That thing that will make me happy, I stay on it.
And what's your favorite way to relax?
Dancing.
What's one message you will share with every cancer patient, be it a survivor or someone battling it right now?
I'm a breast cancer survivor, so we call ourselves Pink Sis. To everyone out there, cancer survivors, patients, cancer is not a death sentence. Forget the myth they tell you. Just start your journey with a positive mindset. When you take your drugs, stay your drugs, it will work for me. Listen to your doctors. And remember, you should be part of your treatment. The doctors treating you are not cancer patients, so they can only tell you what they studied. You do your part by making sure that when you are giving your drugs, read about your drugs, know the food that matches with your drugs. And I trust you with that. You will get better. And to our listeners, please, take your health seriously. Go for screening. As we are celebrating World Cancer Day, make sure that you are among the campaign to spread awareness, support the cancer patients, and please, for the government, take care of us. We want to stay alive, so we need you to help us strengthen our healthcare systems and access to care. Thank you so much.
What is one thing that makes you smile instantly?
I don't know, smiling is my signature. So I believe when I smile, I can be able to cover a whole lot because I've chosen to be strong. Even when I'm weak inside, I still give you that smile because I want you. I know this smile actually encourages someone, so I don't want to withhold it or give it out. After I can go back and think in the night, but I want to make sure everyone that comes around me, I leave a positive energy with them. Thank you.
And who is one person that supported you the most through your journey?
When I got my diagnosis, it wasn't the doctor that broke it to me. I was actually making my hair. I told my sister, go and pick my results. So when she bought it, because she didn't understand what was in the result, I had to use my phone and browse invasive ductal carcinoma. And the only person that was there was my disabled nephew. He was there, he saw me cry, and he told me, he just scribbled it down. There is no sickness God cannot heal. He even promised to take me outside the country. He was just, I think he was just 10 or 11. I looked at his leg. I was like, see this boy, you're not stable, but you're encouraging me as an adult. And whenever I remember him, I make sure that I fight this journey because I want him to fulfill that promise for me. So that is one person. Before any other person, he's the first person that encouraged me to stay strong. And Ikechukwu, I'm giving you a shout out. I love you. I know you don't understand because he always tell me, did they cut your breast? Tell me they've not cut it yet. He doesn't understand, but I know when he goes up and sees me talking about this, he'll understand that he was one of the people that made me stay strong in this journey.
Life
Thank
in
you.
one word.
Life in one word. I will live. I will not die. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mercy. Thank you for being strong. Thank you for speaking up, and thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
And to every surviving cancer patient out there, we're telling you to stay strong, S24 Television is with you. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.